evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Tamiru Nimsan. Let's have a look at the headlines. Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya discusses education reforms with ADB. UK High Commissioner commends Sri Lanka's economic stabilisation efforts. News in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya met with Asian Development Bank Sri Lanka Resident Mission Country Director Takafumi Kadanu at the Prime Minister's office recently. The discussions were aimed at strengthening collaboration on Sri Lanka's development priorities with a particular focus on education. The Prime Minister emphasised the urgent need for improvements in school infrastructure, teacher training and assessment mechanisms to uplift the country's education standards. She expressed gratitude for the ADB's continued support, particularly in education sector development, and highlighted her hopes for sustained collaboration to achieve Sri Lanka's long-term goals. The ADB representatives reaffirmed their commitment to addressing educational challenges through ongoing initiatives such as enhancing teacher and principal training programs to better align with the country's reform agenda. Key government officials, including Secretary to the Prime Minister Pradeep Saputantri, Higher Education Secretary Nalaka Kaluweru, and representatives from the Finance Ministry and Foreign Affairs Ministry were also present at the meeting. The British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Andrew Patrick, praised the Sri Lankan government's efforts toward economic stabilisation. The remarks were made during a meeting with Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Harshana Suryaperuma, held at the Ministry of Finance recently. Dr. Suryaperuma provided an overview of Sri Lanka's current economic situation and outlined future plans. Patrick revealed that a delegation of British business leaders is set to visit Sri Lanka early next year to explore investment and trade opportunities. He emphasized the potential for Sri Lanka to expand its market share in organic agriculture exports, garments and natural beauty products. The High Commissioner also noted the significant contribution of British tourists to Sri Lanka's economy, underscoring the inflow of foreign exchange facilitated by tourism. Foreign Affairs Minister Vijitha Herath confirmed that the Sri Lankan government cannot make a final decision on the proposed 250 megawatt Mana wind power project by India's Adani Green Energy due to an ongoing legal case. Speaking at a press conference recently, Minister Herath emphasized that the government must await the outcome of legal proceedings before proceeding. In June 2024, a fundamental rights petition was filed against the project in the Supreme Court by former Bishop of Mana, Fidelis Emmanuel Fernando, and environmentalists Rohan Pethiyaguda, Professor Nimal Gunathilaka, and Professor Sarath Kodagama. The petition highlighted the environmental risks and raised procedural concerns, particularly the lack of competitive bidding. Critics argue that this has resulted in project costs that are significantly higher than comparable renewable energy projects in the region. President Anukumara Dissanayake, during his election campaign, pledged to re-examine the project, citing irregularities in the agreement and addressing the concerns raised by local communities and environmental groups. Recently, tax concessions for the terminal were presented in Parliament, signalling the government's commitment to its partnership with Adani Group, despite the challenges surrounding the wind power project. Stay tuned. We will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. The Colombo Stock Exchange and the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, in partnership with the stockbroker industry, are set to host the Invest Sri Lanka Capital Market Investor Forum next year. This flagship event aims to attract institutional investors and fund managers both locally and internationally, showcasing Sri Lanka's emerging potential as an investment destination. The forum follows the recent upgrade of Sri Lanka's credit rating by Fitch Ratings from restricted default to CCC+, a critical milestone reflecting improved economic stability and a reduction in default risk. Attendees will learn about Sri Lanka's strides in debt restructuring, fiscal reforms and international support programs such as the ongoing IMF initiative. Sri Lanka's stock market is witnessing continued positive growth, supported by economic reforms and financial liberalization. Southern Province Governor Bandula Harishchandra agrees to a proposal by the Provincial Ministry of Industries to allow all the state sector employees in the province to compete at the annual innovation competition. Annual Ruhunu Innovation Competition and Exhibition is conducted by the Southern Province Industries Development Board, University of Ruhunu, Sri Lanka Inventors Commission and Southern Province Education Department. The competition for new innovations is conducted in 3 categories: school, universities and open. This year's exhibition and the prize giving was held at the Rabindranath Tagore Auditorium of the University of Ruhunu.
මහෝයද පඬිතුයෝ නව නිර්මාණකරුවෙක් කියලා. ඔහු උමගක් කරලා රජුරවන්ට ඒක පෙන්වන්න අරන් ගිහිල්ලා එක ස්විච් එකක් නිවලා මුළු උමගෙම තියෙන ආලෝකය නිවලා පෙන්වනවා. රජුරවන්ව බය කරන්න. පාරවල් හැදුවට පස්සේ කළුවල් ගල් තාර දාලා හරකුන්ගේ කුර ගෙවන හන්දා ගමේ හිටපු මිනිහා කල්පනා කළා කුර ගෙවනවා හරකට ලාඩම් ගහන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඒ දවස්වල හැටියට ඒව නවනීපයම මගේ නම් අදහස මහාචාර්යතුමා අමාත්‍යාංශ ලේකම්තුමා කියපු සහ ආයනපෑම් කොමිසමේ විධායක නිලධාරි මහත්මයා ප්‍රධාන විධායක නිලධාරි මහත්මයා කියපු අර ප්‍රතිපත්ති ලියවිල්ලට අපි අනුමැතිය දෙන්න සූදානම්.
The Hambantota International Port saw a shift in its cruise tourism dynamics in 2024, with a notable increase in vessels from Europe, marking a diversification in its cruise ship portfolio. Out of the 23 cruise ships that cooled at HIP during the year, 17 were from Europe, while only 6 originated from the Indian subcontinent, signaling a changing trend in regional cruise tourism. MV Azamara Pursue, part of the Miami-based Azamara cruise line, made her debut at HIP in December. This visit added Azamara's growing presence at the port, with her sister ships Azamara Quest, Azamara Journey and Azamara Onward having visited earlier. Prudential Shipping, a key local agent, facilitated 10 cruise liner cruises at HIP this year. MV's Celebrity Millennium and MV's Silver Whisper, represented by Prudential Shipping and Columbus Shipping respectively, closed out a successful year for cruise calls at HIP on December 13th. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.